What is astrobiology? Let's look at it by breaking down the word. Astro means star. Bio, life. And logy, study or study of. So you can think of it as astrobiology is the study of life in the stars, or simply study of life in space. Like a complicated word, it essentially means the things a planet needs to support life. Every living thing needs water, suitable temperature, energy, nutrients, and an atmosphere. Water dissolves and transports chemicals within and to and from cells. Too much water is not a bad thing, as long as it's not super toxic and kills the cell. This is just a drawing here of a makeshift cell with a lot of water and too much toxic waste, I guess you could say, in it can lead the cell to die even if there is water. Too little water can have a cell not be able to support life, and too little water causes the cell to die. The right enough amount of water has the cell do its functions correctly and be able to support life. Temperature influences how quickly atoms and molecules move. A high temperature causes water to evaporate, which will have a lack of water, which causes the cell to die, as in the last slide. And the carbohydrate molecules on genetic material, like DNA and RNA, start to break apart. This is breaking. Too low temperatures causes the molecules and chemicals to react slowly, so they are not able to happen fast enough to support life. Kind of how, say you have a car going up a hill. If it's not going fast enough, it'll slide just back down the hill, where it needs enough speed to go up. Basically the same thing, except with molecules and chemicals. Atmosphere, as if you've had knowledge on space, the atmosphere keeps all gravity and oxygen in the earth, so we are able to breathe and not float out into space. This also traps heat inside and the necessary nutrients in, while too little atmosphere not enough nutrients and chemicals come in, and we're not able to have the necessary oxygen and gravity or heat. Too much atmosphere causes a lot of excess heat, raising the planet's temperature, and with too high of a temperature, the planet will not be able to sustain life like Venus. There would be too much heat and too much of certain chemicals and nutrients. Energy is, you can say, how organisms get the necessary energy for life. Think of it as a plant and the sun doing photosynthesis. The plant gets energy and is able to live. Now when a organism, which is represented by this stick figure, it can be like just a human or an animal or bacteria or fungi, however you want to think of it. They get energy by eating or consuming things with energy, either plants or other organisms. Like animals when they have meat, or when animals are eating other animals, like fish with algae. And bacteria gets their energy from decomposing dead matter. If there's not enough energy, the organisms cannot live, as their cells don't get the right nutrients to function. Nutrients. Nutrients is used to build and maintain an organism's body. Everything like the bones and other things. Person. You have nutrients like calcium for the bones and tissue and other things. There's no such thing as too much nutrients, but nutrients like, say, carbon dioxide or minerals and things like that, if there's too much of cycle activity, like a volcanic eruption, that is a cycle of releasing carbon dioxide and other, carbon and other nutrients. If there's too much of that, if you think of it as too much lava, the world would burn, and there wouldn't be enough. Too little nutrients without the chemicals to make proteins and carbohydrates, organisms cannot grow. If you had everything else and the cells were able to survive and other things, you wouldn't be able to grow. So say your body stopped making the right proteins and things, you would still be able to live. You could think of it as you would not grow in height, but that's one way of thinking of it, but it's more so your cells wouldn't be able to reproduce, and with the rate that cells die, you would not be able to live.